Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Before we begin, here's how to earn continuing professional education credit for attending this session. There are no polling questions or attendance checks. Instead, you will demonstrate your knowledge by taking a brief multiple-choice quiz using the Earmark app. Visit earmark.app in your web browser. You can also download the mobile app by scanning the QR code on the screen. Log in, or if you're new, create your free account. Be sure to use a valid email address because that's where we'll send your course completion certificates. From the home screen, scroll down to find the course. You can also tap the magnifying glass icon to search for the course. Tap on the course artwork, then the Enroll button. On the Course tab, you'll find the recording and quiz questions. Complete the quiz to earn your CPE certificate. It takes us a few days to create the course on the app, so if you are attending this session live, please wait a few days. We'll email you a link to the course when it is ready. If you have questions or need help, email us at support@earmarkcpe.com. And now, on to the event.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zach from Earmark, and thanks for joining us and watching this live or on demand. I'd like to welcome you to Transitioning to Advisory Services for Strategic Growth. I'm going to hand it over to your instructor for today, Christeen Era. Christeen, please take it away.
Great. Thank you, Zach. So I want to start off by welcoming everyone and thank you for joining us today on this webinar. And we're going to be looking into advisory services for bookkeepers and accountants. So in today's session, we're going to cover a few topics. I'm going to go over those so you know what to expect. So one is understanding the levels of advisory service. We're going to dive into that. The need for business advisors and the steps to transition into advisory work. So you might be entertaining the idea of advisory work, or you might already be in this space, but need your team to step more into this space. This is very common. I hear this a lot. And you don't have time to mentor the team and to train them. So no matter where you're at, I'm hoping that this topic will help you with your next steps. We're going to conclude with a Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So if you have any questions, please post the questions in chat, and we will get to them as soon as we finish up. So I just want to introduce myself a little bit deeper so you know about who I am and what my background is. I'm Christeen Era. I'm going to be your host for today's webinar. I'm the founder of Core Growth Strategies and the co-founder of Green Profit Academy. I am an accounting and consulting expert, and I've assisted numerous small to mid-sized businesses in enhancing cash flow, boosting their profits, which is one of my favorite things, and achieving sustainable growth. In my book, Profit First for Lawn Care and Landscape Businesses, this has helped many business owners manage expenses as well as elevate their gross profit margins to 65% or higher. And I'm passionate about helping small businesses thrive, from the people that serve them to the businesses themselves. So my background, I have many certifications. I've been doing this for a while. I'll just share them with you so you know my background a little bit more. So I'm a certified Profit First professional, a pumpkin plan strategist, a clockwork coach, Fix This Next advisor, QuickBooks Pro advisor, and a certified accounting professional. Share a little bit about my two businesses that I have, just in case you want to reach out to us. So I have Core Growth Strategies, and what we do there is we partner with construction service-based businesses. So we primarily work with the trades, and we help them achieve clear financials, and this is their foundation for long-term sustainability and scalable growth. And what we do is we empower the businesses to confidently manage their numbers, scale their operations, and maximize their profits. Building on these foundational services, Core also offers specialized workshops and programs designed for accounting industry professionals looking to acquire or sharpen their coaching and strategic advisory skills, which we'll be talking about more today. So these offerings, they really equip professionals with tools they need to expand their businesses, deliver more value to their clients, and enhance profitability through consultative services. And over at Green Profit Academy, where we have lots of fun over there, so we offer comprehensive leadership coaching and development for business owners and their teams. And this is empowering you to engage in practices that support long-term sustainability, drive profitability, and enhance efficiency. So you're really getting your teams developed in their leadership so they can drive your business for you. All right, so let's get started on our topic today. We're going to start with understanding advisory services. I want to talk about what they are. So advisory services, they go beyond that traditional accounting and bookkeeping. They involve providing strategic advice to help clients grow their business, improve financial performance, as well as mitigate risk. So we covered those areas. Advisory service isn't always where we start off either. And I hear this a lot. It's a typical destination that we want to get to during our professional journey, especially if we start off, either in that accounting or bookkeeping space, or, CPAs. I hear them say a lot, I'm ready to move out of doing the numbers and into that coaching and advisory service. And I have found that bookkeepers and accountants are increasingly recognizing this need to expand their roles beyond traditional financial management. So the shift towards business advisory services represents a significant opportunity for growth and differentiation in this industry. So I thought it was really great, to talk about this and bring this topic to you as I talk about it with many other professionals. And as long as I've been in this industry, I feel that this is a topic that gets talked about year after year after year. Conferences and events that I go to, they say, hey, I've been doing all this accountant stuff. I've been doing all this bookkeeping stuff. And I really want to move into advisory. So it's a space that I think people in this industry really long to arrive in. They don't want to, set crunching the numbers, through their whole professional career. So with businesses continuing to face the complex challenges and the rapidly changing economy that we're in, there's an increasing demand for this strategic guidance. And I can't count how many times I've heard from a lead, a client, or even other professionals that I work with or I meet how much they wish that their accountant or bookkeeper knew how to support them in this space. So I want to take a moment to review what business advisory services encompass. So there's one where there's that financial transparency and accuracy. Another one is planning and analysis, strategic business consulting, performance measurement and improvement, as well as that risk management and compliance. So there's this wide variety here that we're looking at where it's business advisory services can come into place. And entrepreneurs are looking for, conversations to have with the people that's supporting them around their numbers. So these services that I'm talking about, it enables bookkeepers and accountants to add more value to their clients by helping them make informed strategic decisions about one of their most biggest potential assets, which is their business. And if you're already in front of them, it's easier to have that conversation with them about those advisory services or even how you can help. So we're going to dive into, what these levels of service look like. And what I did was I outlined this journey from basic compliance services to strategic business advisory. And, I'm going to share with you, I have started at every one of these levels and worked my way through. So whether you're watching this as a bookkeeper or you're watching it as a strategic business advisor, I have stepped into pretty much every one of these roles throughout my professional journey and have understood the challenges and, kind of the obstacles that have come into play in moving forward with these. So these levels include enhanced bookkeeping, accounting, CFO financial analysis, business consulting, and at the top of the scale is a strategic business advisor. So we're going to cover each one of these as I feel every level is valuable if done at a higher level and not only contributes, but supports the next level. So this is really kind of an ecosystem that we're going to be unpacking today. And it's imperative that we have every one of these steps built out or have a professional associate or strategic partnership in place that supports that level if that's not a space we want to live in. So starting with enhanced bookkeeping, at this level, services include, the basic things with bookkeeping. So recording transactions, reconciling accounts, and generating financial statements. This is really the foundation upon which the higher level services are built and supported. And with enhanced bookkeeping services, it's a critical foundation in the financial management of business. So this is kind of where it all starts. It goes beyond basic bookkeeping, where somebody's just, putting information in and checking the boxes. And it provides a more comprehensive and precise financial overview. So those who are already advising at this higher level understand how critical this level is and how it contributes to their role in this process. And I'm sure you've heard, garbage in or garbage out. When it comes to the bookkeeping side, the enhanced bookkeeping really, it's that checks and balances. So its purpose is to ensure all financial activities are, precisely tracked and documented in the system. And it generates detailed financial statements to help understand the business's health and its trends. And it also keeps those financial records organized to simplify reporting and meet compliance needs. So it's not just about, checking the boxes and filing things away. It's making sure the information is accurate and reliable. So the benefits with this enhanced bookkeeping is it's the accurate data allows the leaders, which is the business owners, to make those strategic choices that enhance efficiency in their company. So that's going to matter to a business owner. It also sets the stage for services like financial analysis and strategic planning. So if you can rely on those numbers and you can see those numbers easily and know that they're up to date, you can make those decisions and bring them into your planning to forecast out in the future. The other thing is it prevents, fraud. So this is something that happens. We've seen it happen, unfortunately, but it supports those regular checks and balances that helps identify and, prevent discrepancies. I've looked in books several times and seen where they have double entries. They have transactions that haven't been cleared for years. And, I asked them, do you have a professional bookkeeper? And they're like, yeah, I've always had one. And it worries me that it's not done at that higher level. And it's showing up in their books. And when we don't have those, accurate data entry and those checks and balances in place, then we also don't have those reliable financials. And those reliable financials, they really increase the transparency with any of the stakeholders in the business. So enhanced bookkeeping serves as that vital foundation for businesses' financial management by offering that accurate financial tracking, clarity, and compliance support, in addition to the broader financial strategy and management of a business, which really is what's going to facilitate growth and stability of any business out there. But there are issues that can arise from, doing just that basic bookkeeping level. And these issues come from inaccurate data entry or how someone is allocating those transactions. It's also can be a regular account reconciliation where there's not like a rhyme or rhythm when it comes to managing the financials for a business, as well as an accurate chart of account structure. And that's where the chart of accounts isn't built out, to really support that industry. And then there's also that non-compliance with regulation. So there isn't the checks and balances or the awareness around what do we have to do, to do some of these higher level things. Do you have something with your local district or, where you live in your state or your city? So these pitfalls can lead to misinformed decisions, undetected fraud, and legal penalties, which is why, we want to offer that higher level. And to prevent these issues, business professionals and their team should know the proper technical foundation that needs to be set up to best support the industry they are serving, in addition to implement automated tools, maintain regular reconciliation schedules, and stay updated with compliance standards. So just even at the basic level, we can make sure that what we're doing at a higher level, and we're supporting our clients in a different way and partnering with other people that are in advisement at that higher level. So the next level is accounting, and this includes the concepts of enhanced bookkeeping plus more detailed financial reporting, budgeting, and cash flow management. And it provides that deeper insight into the financial health of the business. So the purpose of accounting extends beyond the enhanced bookkeeping by incorporating additional layers of financial analysis and management. So when we're looking at the accounting side, it's going to give you that complete financial overview, acting like a health report for the business. So it helps with that budgeting and forecasting, using past data to plan for the future and make informed decisions. And these are things that you can have conversations, with your clients about. So managing that cash flow is crucial for any business. And that accounting piece it ensures that you have the liquidity to meet short-term needs and keep operations smooth. So if we have everything in there, we're talking about some additional, aspects of the business, unpacking their financial reports with them. We can talk about, some higher end stuff like budgeting, forecasting, as well as cash flow. It's even nicer if we have somebody who's doing enhanced bookkeeping and making sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed on that lower end. So when it comes to that accounting side, you could do a review and then unpack the financials with the client, have those higher end conversations. So I want to kind of go over some of these benefits in this accounting level. So it provides, again, a clear understanding of the financial health, assessing profitability and efficiency in a business. It supports creating that long-term strategies that align with the financial goals of the business. So when we have that, supported and aligned, we can have some more of those. What are your goals? Let's talk about some strategies. It also helps guide the resource allocation for optimal return. So it helps the business owner maybe ask the right questions or understand and make informed decisions about how to allocate their resources, or maybe what they should keep doing or they should, stop doing in their business. Then it also allows for that quick adaptation to market changes and maintain an agility. So we're really looking at performance monitoring in the business. So looking at that financial health check and how the business is performing, and the profit and loss statement and balance sheet and other reports you can run. They can tell a lot. And if we can interpret those to the client, it's another level of advisement. So this compliance also keeps the business, compliant with those tax laws, minimizing legal risks. So it's that other layer of protection, and somebody else kind of keeping the eye on the business with the business owner and talking about those additional things. So really, this level of accounting, it provides a deeper and more strategic understanding of a business's finances, enabling better decision-making, planning, and management of resources to support growth and sustainability, which every business owner wants. So in transitioning to comprehensive accounting, I want to talk about some of the pitfalls that can happen with this. So one is that inaccurate, financial reporting. So if the information isn't being put in there, we're not reviewing it, checking it, make sure the structure is right, then we're not going to be able to depend on those reports that we're pulling. There's also that ineffective budgeting and forecasting, where again, that inaccurate information isn't going to allow us, to have that ground to stand on when we're looking at forecasting and budgeting for a business. And then you'll typically also find when these things are showing up that there's poor cash flow management happening. So the business owner doesn't have a hold on, how much cash is in, what it's being used for, and really allocating those resources. So these issues can lead to misinformed decisions, misallocated resources, and liquidity challenges in the business. And if we're doing our job as an accountant and really digging in, we can avoid those or help a client move from having those issues to not having those issues. And some of the ways that we can prevent these is utilizing reliable accounting software. I don't know how many times, I've talked to somebody, they're like, well, I kind of still have it in Excel, or I have an accounting software, but I don't keep it updated. So, not only utilizing it, but leveraging that accounting software, regularly updating financial models with, current data. So looking at it, seeing where the business changed, what's working for the business now, and identifying some of those outliers that, might be causing issues immediately in the business, and identifying, is this something that's going to continue to happen, or is it something that is, just happening now and it's that one-time thing, but digging in and seeing what those are. And then maintaining cash flow monitoring to ensure accurate insights and strategic financial management. So staying on top of it, visiting those financial reports and records on a regular basis, and making sure that the books are fully reviewed and buttoned up to have these higher end conversations with the client. So the next level after, we've got the basic, the enhanced bookkeeping done, we know everything's being entered properly. We're reviewing everything and making sure that it's all accurate and buttoned up. The next level is that CFO financial analysis. So this involves interpreting financial data to identify trends, variances, as well as opportunity. It includes that ratio analysis, financial forecasting and benchmarking, again, against industry standards. So we want to look at what market are they in, and know what are some of the benchmarks that this industry needs to hit. And the CFO ensures compliance with accounting standards and regulations. So they help ensure that the business is financially healthy and positioned for long-term success. So the CFO financial analysis plays a crucial role in the strategic financial management of an organization. And some of these things that would include is the analysis of the financial data to identify those trends, variances, and opportunities. So these are areas you can talk to clients about. Evaluating key financial ratios of performance and health assessment. So looking at where are they, where do they need to be, how can we close that gap? And also using that historical and current data to predict future financial conditions. And then comparing that performance with industry standards to find areas for improvement. So again, getting back to closing that gap, but having the information, that reliable information to have those conversations with the client. And the benefits of these are, we're providing insights for informed executive decisions. We're working through that with our clients. We're ensuring that, we're adhering to those accounting standards and minimizing risks. So we're double checking to make sure that the standards are being met and that what we're looking at is information we can rely on. It also we can identify those trends for sustainable growth and success in a business. So what do those trends look like? And especially if you're working in an industry, you can really dial it in and know all the things that could impact those trends, or even improve them. And then we're looking at the resource optimization. We can properly advise on how to enhance efficiencies and profitability through better resource allocation. So we can look into the financials, and the financials can tell us where they can tighten up their ship. And this is, another thing I love about this level is there could be a lot of conversation around opportunities and improvements. So in summary, the CFO financial analysis, it's essential for maintaining a company's financial health while supporting those strategic decisions and ensuring compliance with financial regulations, thereby positioning the business for long-term success. So you're really helping them and partnering with them to grow that business and keep it on track. And with this level, you can encounter challenges such as misinterpretation of financial data, which is why the two prior levels are so important, inaccurate, adequate benchmarking, and non-compliance with regulations. So these are some of the areas that our challenges are going to be in when you move into this level, to be aware of them. So these issues may lead to misguided decisions and poor comprehensive positioning with as well as legal risks. So we want to mitigate these risks to ensure accurate data interpretation and use relative industry benchmarks. So you want to be in tuned enough to understand the industry, and are the benchmarks accurate? And then what data are you using, or is the client presenting to create these benchmarks, or the outcome of these benchmarks? So staying updated with the challenges to support effective strategic decision making and maintain long-term financial health for the business is the goal. So the next level, which is level 4, is business consulting. So which turns, it goes beyond finances, right? So we're not just looking at the numbers anymore. We're looking even deeper into the operations. So we're going to be consulting on, how the company operates, process improvement, as well as strategic planning. And at this level, you become a key partner in the client's business. So business consulting encompasses that holistic approach to improving a client's overall business performance. And I'm going to go over a few things that you can provide here in doing this. This is another one of my favorites. It really starts taking those numbers. So if you like the numbers and you like looking at the operations and kind of, tightening up areas in the organization, this is a really fun area to be in. And if you don't want to work in accounting anymore, but you have that knowledge, you're going to be bringing that value to the table of knowing the numbers and how it impacts the organizational structure. So, in providing business consulting, some of the things that you can do is you can boost efficiency, productivity, and profitability in a business. And what you're doing is you're looking at the numbers and you're looking at the operations and you're bringing those together and fixing those gaps or advising on those gaps. There's also streamlining operations and, cutting costs. I like to refer to these as, identifying the profit centers in a company. So if we can identify the profit centers in a business and understand that it's not the operations that's making that area less profitable, and we've got everything dialed in, we can reallocate or advise on reallocating resources. So this again gets into that strategic planning phase where we're looking at streamlining operations, cutting costs, creating strategies around there, really digging into those profit centers, and then helping the client develop strategies aligned with the goals and market opportunities and what you're finding in developing those profit centers. So the benefits of providing this service, it's going to drive the overall business enhancement beyond just the financials, right? Because we're identifying the profit centers. We're saying, hey, here's some opportunity. Let's really, reorganize your resources and put them to work for you. You're also optimizing processes for better productivity. So you're bringing that to the table for the client. And then you're strengthening the market position. So, in a business, anytime that we create these, make sure the processes are dialed in, make sure that, they're putting all of their resources to work in the best places, we're strengthening, that company and what they do that's specialized. And then it also offers that unbiased external perspective. So it allows us to base decisions and strategic planning on facts versus emotions. And this is really leveling up when we start working with the client at this level. We're taking that, when you ask that question, so why are you buying that next piece of equipment, or why are you adding that route? And all they can come up with is some emotional justifications. This allows you to bring the numbers to the table and review these with the client and look at the operational side to see if it's really the next step that they should be taking. And this, I've experienced this myself. The other benefit is it builds that long-term partnership. So it builds that lasting relationship with your clients to support the growth and address challenges with them as their business grows beyond just needing those basic bookkeeping, and accounting or even CFO services. So that way you don't have to go get a new client. You're giving them a place to step into. So business consulting, it really goes beyond that financial advice to become an integral partner in improving and growing a client's business through operational excellence and strategic forecast. They're going to be looking to you for this level of advisement and support. So I just want to kind of go over a couple pitfalls as you move into this. Pitfalls include the misalignment with client objectives. So this can happen if you don't have that reliable data, if you don't, have the insight of how they run their business or where their problems are in the operations of the company. Inadequate implementation of process improvements. So, looking at what are you improving in the company and does this fit? And the other thing is it being adopted, right? So you can go in and you can give them the process or help them change the process, but then they're going to need that additional support of making sure that it's being implemented and adopted. And this falls into the next challenge, which is that resistant to change. So in many business owners, I even think in the accounting industry, when we start rolling out changes in companies, or we're saying, hey, we're going to do this different, there's that automatic resistance to change. So these issues can result in that ineffective strategies that you're presenting them and they're not being effective. And then persistent inefficiencies and stagnation to where it's like the efficiency isn't showing up and then things are just taking a while, to get implemented, or it's just stalled. So to mitigate this, consultants should ensure alignment with the client goals. So we want to be having conversations about what are your goals? How are you getting there? What are the action steps, right? Provide those an actionable implementation plan. So we can't just talk about it. We have to have it in writing and then agree, how are we going to move through this? What's the timeline and what are the measurables to make sure that success is happening? And then promote a change-friendly environment. So, really helping them roll this out to their team or bring their team up for that change to happen and facilitate the success for business improvements. So there's a lot of room here just at this level of really working, with a business in the business to, facilitate that success and roll out some really great strategies and action plans for a client. So at level 5, and this is the top level, it's more of that strategic business advisor. And this role encompasses all the previous levels, which each one contributes to the next, and adds a high-level strategic advice, risk management, and long-term planning. And this level positions you as a trusted advisor and an integral part of the client's success. And when I'm talking about this level, it may not all just be you. You might have several people on your team, like I do at my company, where we sit down with the client and they have, people that they're going to work with that are experts in certain areas. So you're going to have your expertise as a strategic business advisor, where various other people on your team, they might have an expertise. So it's really who's the audience that you serve and what are their needs. So the role of a strategic business advisor is to provide that comprehensive, higher level guidance that integrates all previous consultancy levels that we went over today. And what this does is it shapes the overarching business strategies aligned with the long-term goals. It identifies the potential risks and opportunities for the business, and you're working with the business and their team, to navigate through those. And it also develops the plans for future success and growth, as well as long-term sustainability and helping them grow their business while maximizing their profit, which is really important. The benefits in working with someone at this level is it merges that financial, consulting, and strategic insight for holistic growth. So you're bringing it all together and you're creating a service offering at a higher level to support clients, beyond just the numbers. It also helps the client anticipate the challenges for effective navigation when it comes to uncertainties in the business. Should we do this? Should we do that? So you being on their team and having a plan, they're going to be asking less of what should we do because they know what they should be doing and focusing on. So their energy is really put into the future versus, what if scenarios. So they're focused on that growth aspect as well as solvency. It also ensures businesses are positioned for continuous advance. So I've seen businesses to where they've grown really fast on their revenue. And then they end up falling or sliding backwards because they didn't build that foundation to support the operations and the revenue being produced at that level. So, a business that, let's say, is at 2 million is not going to function the same way as a business that's at 15 million. There has to be some foundation that's built, so that way the client can continue to grow and stand on some really solid ground. And then you have a even deeper trusted partnership. So you have a long-term reliable relationship with the client where you can continue to advise as they continue to level up their business. So you're providing that strategic insight to the leaders of the company, to the business owner, and giving them that support. So the strategic advisor not only supports all aspects of the business operations, but it also serves as that crucial partner in shaping its strategic direction, ensuring resilience, and fostering that long-term success. So some of the potential pitfalls include the inefficient understanding of the client's business environment, which is why niching down is really great, because you'll understand the ins and outs of, let's say, a professional service business or a lawn care business, or a general contractor. So you're really looking into the areas of this business, and the pitfalls, and some of the strategics, planning that you can bring to the table. Also, overlooking emerging risks and trends and inadequate long-term planning and execution. So those are a couple of the other pitfalls that can happen. So these issues can lead to misaligned strategies, vulnerability to unexpected change, and then, again, stagnation. So, being aware of these areas and having a plan in place and working with a client, you can move through these, as well as having a team, knowing who's on your team and who can implement these services or support you in implementing them can be really great too. So to mitigate these risks, advisors should conduct, thorough research, right? Know what you're rolling out, know your industry, continuously monitor risks and trends. So know kind of what are some of the things that you might come up against, have strategies in your toolbox to unpack and go over with these clients to kind of debug some situations, as well as develop, robust, actionable long-term plans. And this can effectively support the client's success to, resilience and continuing to work with you while you help them move forward. So traditionally, bookkeepers and accountants have been seen as financial gatekeepers for the business, and their primary responsibilities include maintaining accurate financial records, preparing financial statements, ensuring that compliance with tax regulations, as well as managing payroll and accounts payables and receivables. So just listing these off, it's, these tasks are crucial, but they kind of seem like, those boring, checks and balances, and we can do more than that if we're interested in doing more than that. And these also limit the scope of interaction between financial professionals and their clients. If we're just focused on these things and doing these things, we can also create the opportunity to talk about these things and beyond. So as I shared earlier, the shift towards business advisory services, they represent that significant opportunity for growth and differentiation in a company. But many professionals in this field find themselves struggling to transition into that advisory level. So many bookkeepers and accountants, they're deeply entrenched in their traditional roles, and finding comfort in the routine and predictability of these tasks they have mastered over the years. So they're very comfortable doing the traditional roles, and they're a little bit or a lot uncomfortable moving into that advisory, and they're not quite sure what that looks like. So the traditional bookkeeper roles, they're going to be doing the recording the transactions, the account reconciliations, the data entry, while that accountant traditional role is going to be living in those financial statements, maybe tax compliance, financial analysis and advice, budgeting and forecasting and auditing, which does have some advisement in there if you're having those conversations. So bookkeepers focus on recording those transactions accurately, while accountants provide the analysis, compliance, and strategic financial strategies. So their expertise in these areas support the financial health of the business, but you can also offer more. So transitioning from those roles in bookkeeping and accounting to a business advisory position presents several challenges. And this shift requires not only a change in mindset, but also the acquisition of some new skills as well as perspectives. So moving into a more dynamic advisory role, it could seem daunting to some. And I want to talk about, why this is. And one of the things that I found is, it's the fear of the unknown, right? So stepping into advisory roles, it introduces uncertainties beyond that familiar task, like the number crunching, and it requires that navigation through strategic insight and business growth strategies. And these may not be conversations that bookkeepers and accountants are used to having all the time with their clients, but they're very valuable to have. And this fear of this unknown can cause hesitation, limiting that professional growth, and also reducing the value that you're providing to your clients. Then there's the unspoken favorite, which I love this one, is lack of confidence in new areas, right? So professionals may feel insecure about their ability to handle strategic planning or risk management due to, perceived knowledge gaps. So self-doubt may result in reluctance to offer that advisory service, and missed opportunities for service expansion in your current business model. And then there's the typical, uncertainty about necessary skills and tools. So, they're not sure which ones to unpack. They don't have them. They don't have the time to spend on them. So advisory roles demand skills in data analysis, strategic thinking, and those advanced technologies, which can be unfamiliar. And some of these that I'm unpacking here, they could be, challenges that you're hitting up against, or challenges that, you're already in advisement and you're going, I'm trying to get my team there. I don't understand why they're not moving into this space with me. So that uncertainty about skills and tools, that might hinder their entry into advisory space. So it could hold somebody back because they're not sure, what do I need to know? What do I not know? What does this look like? And by addressing these challenges, accountants and bookkeepers can successfully transition into business advisory roles, offering valuable strategic insight, higher level offerings and services, and positioning themselves as that integral partner in a client's success. And I have to say, depending on what your passion is in your business, it can be really fun for you. So let's go over a couple, effective business advisory requirements. If you're going to be moving into this, or you're curious about moving into it, or you're trying to get your team to move into it, some of the things, that we will need is those advanced analytical tools. Like, what tools do we have in our toolbox? That strategic thinking and problem solving skills. So, is that you? Do you have that strategic thinking and problem solving skills? Do you get excited about that? Is some of your team, wanting to move into this space or not wanting to move into this space because they either do or do not have, this strength or skill showing up? And also a thorough understanding of industry trends and best practices. So again, that experience and that knowledge about what's happening in the industry that I'm serving, and what are some of the best practices that I could bring to the table and advise them on. You might already know this, you're just not talking about it with your clients. So many financial professionals, they struggle with this transition because they lack the access to the tools, or they don't have confidence in the tools that they have, or they might lack the training to use the tools effectively in an outlined systematic approach. They want to feel confident when they're unpacking them. They want to feel comfortable about having these conversations. If you're not, very communicative or connective accountant or bookkeeper, this might be an area that's a little tough to where you're like, well, I want to make sure I'm saying it right and presenting it right. So they typically find that they want to offer advisement services, but they don't have the strengths or the capacity to create the journey that encompasses the tools and content to accomplish this in an effective service offering that's scalable and consistent in delivery. And what I'm talking about here is when I'm looking at what's scalable and consistent in delivery, we may be, as business owners or as the manager of the company, offering some of these higher end strategic advisement or breaking out these tools. But then we look at how can we make this scalable, and how can I not be the only one who's offering this, and make sure that what we are offering and what we are doing is consistent. So that's what I'm talking about as far as a challenge in moving into that space. So bookkeepers and accountants are already performing advisory tasks in so many ways without realizing it. So it's offering insights based off of that financial data, helping clients understand their cash flow, and advising on cost-saving measures. And these activities can be positioned as advisory services. It's just about how you position it, and also, what are you delivering? And highlighting the additional value provided to their existing clients. So there's that moving away from, oh, I'm just a number cruncher, to let me talk to you about more of those higher value services and how do you present them. So in addition, they should also be priced as advisory services. So this is another challenge that I myself many years ago, I was like, well, I just kind of do all this stuff and it's fun and I'm going to charge this price for it. So I wasn't, pulling out those higher end advisory services that I was providing and putting them in a different price bucket and showing that value. So this is the next level of outlining the value to your clients that you're serving, is separating out what am I doing now that I can classify as that higher advisement level, and how do I price it and communicate it to them. So let's look at the other side of the coin with this. So as a firm owner who's already engaged in advisory work, that would be me. The next logical step is to evaluate your team's skills to take on higher level services, which I as well have done with my team. So this progression allows you to step back from the day-to-day operations and position yourself for strategic growth. However, this transition comes with its own set of challenges. So just because we have a team that we're ready to launch doesn't mean it's always going to be easy. So I want to review some of the key challenges a firm owner might face in this scenario. So at the top of this list is identifying the skill gap. So this, not only is it difficult, but time consuming to pinpoint specific skills that the team lacks to step into those advanced advisory roles. So we always want the right people in the right seat. So one of the things that you can do is conduct a skill assessment. This can be insightful, but then it's also, developing a personal training plan. That's something that takes time and is time consuming. And then while training and development can be quite, the resource hog, right? Where you're like, I've got to create all these development plans and train them. Tapping into professional development programs, that could be really great. Find some place that's doing it for you so you don't have to develop and train your team, along with the mentorship options. So this can also make a big difference. So that way you're not investing all your time in bringing people up. And then we have, again, my, favorite is that resistance to change. So this can be another challenge. And just realizing that change can be hard, and some team members might resist taking on new roles. So by sharing our vision and involving everyone in the planning and highlighting the benefits that this brings, we can ease that transition. And then, ensuring consistency and service quality. So this was one of my biggest concerns when I was turning over, all of how we do the accounting and deliver the accounting and meet with our clients and serve our clients. So keeping our service quality up as a team, it shifts into that advisory role. This can be challenging. But setting up standard operating procedures, this has helped a lot. And monitoring performance closely can help us stay on track and know that this is happening, that it's being delivered consistently. And I would have to add to that, an onboarding program with a new hire will really support that consistency. If you're telling them, this is how we do it, this is why we do it, this is the purpose, this is what it serves. So really helping them understand and giving them a solid foundation and process to follow. Then we have, we have to navigate that resource allocation like any company. So balancing the demands of our clients with investing time in training our team can be tough. So do we have time to invest in mentoring and training our team? And what does that look like? And I would even ask, are you the right person to do it? Because that's a challenge, to where you may not be the right person, or it may not be something that you enjoy, is mentoring and training people. So, setting aside dedicated time and budgeting for professional growth. So that's crucial and can help you with that resource allocation. And then again, building client confidence, right? This is another challenge. So clients might have doubts about our transition and the new advisor skills that we're bringing to the table, or what they think is new, because we haven't shared that, hey, we have this knowledge and, now we're going to separate it out, right? So it can be challenging for them to see us as more than we have been to them so far in this journey. So maintaining that open communication and involving new advisors in meetings. So have someone show up and contribute to the conversation that's on your team. And then gathering client feedback can also reassure them. How do they want to be supported? What does this look like for them? Letting them know that this is advisement is something that you're moving into. And then lastly, scaling up technology and tools. And we have a lot of resources in this industry. So adopting those new tools and technologies that the team isn't familiar with can be daunting, right? But investing in the right program and through the right training and making sure it's thorough training, we can get everybody up to speed and close that gap quickly. So to effectively transition into business advisory, I want to just kind of go over, because this is very crucial to differentiate the advisory level services and communicate their value. So it's important to define the service. So you want to clearly outline what specific advisory services entail. This could include financial planning, strategic consulting, or even risk management. So anything, where you're going above and beyond, maybe it's cash flow, maybe it's budgeting, things like that. So, what area does it fall in? And then quantify the value. So show how advisory services has positively impacted other clients. It's really good to use metrics such as improved profitability, reduced cost, or increased efficiency. It's really great to quantify these in a story, so sharing a story with the client, the potential client or client that you're serving, about how this worked for another client of yours. And then most importantly, I have found, to educate the clients. So we need to help our clients understand the benefits of advisory services. And we can do this through case studies, testimonies, and informative content, right? So continuing to increase that client's business acumen is going to help them understand the value of what you're bringing to the table. And then lastly is to share the path, right? So provide a proven process or pathway. Let them know, how are we going to get there? What does it look like along the way? And that pathway to, not only you and your team can follow, but your clients as well. So it's not just internal facing, it's external facing. So we're all more willing to take the journey if we know where we're going. So think about that when you're adding advisory services and you're trying to invite your clients into them, or even your team. Let's create a path for them so they know, what is this journey going to look like and what does it mean? What's the value here? So by understanding and leveraging these levels, advisors can provide more targeted and effective support to their clients, ensuring both personal satisfaction and business success. So we want to utilize the levels as a map and not a ladder. So these levels don't have to be climbed in sequence. So instead, they serve as a map to explore different advisement areas. So if you're in bookkeeping and you want to level up, what does that look like? If you're in one level and you're not quite happy, maybe there's another level. So you really want to choose your path. And depending on your strengths and your preferences, you can choose to specialize in a particular level or offer a mix of advisement services. So what does that look like for you? And what is it, the ideal career or professional path look like for you? What area of advisement sounds fun? And then also embrace flexibility. So this approach allows for flexibility and personalization in your advisement career, tailoring services to your unique skill sets and the needs of your clients. So you don't have to do everything or be everything for everyone, but you can really be that specialist that sits at the table and be part of that advisement ecosystem. So understanding the different levels of advisement, I think this is crucial as each level builds on the previous one and providing a foundation for more advanced services. So, everyone at every level is going to be dependent on a different level. And each level really supports that next level. And it's important, on self-assessment and choosing your path. So I want to give you some action steps that will support you in this process. And one of them is, the first one is identify your current level. So knowing where you stand helps identify what services you currently provide and where you might need to improve or expand. And we have determined, step number 2, determine future goals. So understanding your strengths and passions can give you the level of advisement that fits your skills and interests. And number 3, which is most important, enjoyment, and expertise. So it's essential to focus on what you excel at and enjoy, as this leads to a more fulfilling and effective advisement in working with your clients. So I want to thank you for attending today's webinar. This is a gift that I'm going to give to you. It's a free guide on the 5 steps to transform your advisement approach. And this guide can support you in moving forward with your advisement path. And I will share the links in our chat as well, so you can get this. And the other thing I want to offer you is I would like to invite you, if you're interested in really exploring this topic and seeing what's next for you in your advisement journey, I want to invite you to join us in our virtual advisory exploration workshop. This is a 2-part workshop that's going to support you in exploring the advisory role that best suits you and your team. And any participant, that is in this class, they're going to gain crucial insights into transitioning into advisory roles and crafting a personal advisory roadmap. And this is a 2-day workshop that starts in, just a couple of weeks. There is, they're 90-minute workshops with a couple hours of homework. And I would love to invite you to join us if you feel that you need additional support in looking at, well, what's my advisory, what support do I need, or even what do the action steps look like? So by taking these steps, financial professionals can confidently move from their old hat to their new hat that they aspire to wear, driving both their own growth and that of their clients. So I would love to invite bookkeepers and accountants, into that space of advisement, because our businesses out there need that higher level of support. All right, so I am going to open the floor for any questions that anybody has, as well as share these links in our chat.
Hi, Christine. It doesn't look like we have any live questions. So once you get those in the chat, which I just see you just put, I want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar if they're here live. And also here's a reminder for all our live attendees on how you can earn free CPE for attending.
Today's event has ended. To earn CPE, go to earmark.app or scan the QR code on the screen. Then log in or create your free account. Search for the course by tapping on the magnifying glass icon on the home screen and then entering the name of this event. It takes a few days to make the course, so if you're attending this event live, keep an eye out for an email letting you know when the course is available. Pass the quiz to earn your CPE, then tap the button to email yourself a certificate. Stay tuned for more events from Earmark. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon.